What's up, All Stars? Happy Memorial Day. I want to share with you guys how to get customers and how to make sales over and over and over and over again. Now, we are streaming this all over the place. So if you haven't met me, my name is Jennifer Abbs. I am the founder of the Freedom for Families Blueprint, showing families how to create freedom the right way, without doing all of the crazy things that you see organic network marketers, direct sales, affiliate marketers doing online, doing things with inconsistency, getting inconsistent results on their business, and you can't create freedom from that place. So because we're streaming all over the place, I'm going to share with you guys a little training today that's hopefully going to help you get the results that you want in your business. Now, when I got started 9 years ago, and I'm not going to share my whole story, but what I want you to know is I made $20,000 in sales in my first 30 days. I doubled my salary, my monthly salary in 6 months, and I doubled my annual salary in my first year because of what I learned how to do using Facebook and how to reach the right audience, the right people with the right message so that you solve a problem. Now, what I see out there in the network marketing and direct sales and affiliate marketing world is everyone posting their links everywhere. I sell Tupperware. That doesn't solve a problem. The problem is the mom is wasting a ton of money on her groceries and throwing it away every single day because she bought stuff from the store that doesn't serve the purpose of the Tupperware that you do. So you're not solving the problem by selling Tupperware. The problem is the mom that's like, how do I keep these cucumbers fresh? I keep spending money and I'm throwing it away. That's the problem. Now, a lot of people think that their opportunity is for everybody, which is not true. They think they have the best company in the world. There are a lot of phenomenal companies out there, so that's also not true. They have beliefs about money and people, and that is the number one thing that is keeping you from making consistent sales in your business. So let's do a little mindset, and then we're going to get into 10 things that you can do to get consistent sales in your business. And some of you, if you want to work with me one-on-one, in 45 minutes, I'm going to open up a Zoom link and I'm going to work. Because that's what's missing is you're not seeing what I do. So how can you make sales if you're like, but Jen, what do you do? And how do you say it? And what if they say this? And what if they say that? I'll tell you, in the beginning, right? I did a company in my early 20s, and my second company was after my first daughter was born. And what I did was invite like a crazy person, and I put them in front of somebody else. And I was like, I don't know the answers. I'm new. I don't know the answers. I'm new. I don't know the ingredients in the shake. I'm new. I don't know how they get this to do that. I'm new. But my mentor, my sponsor, my friend, my team, because you're going to use all of these tools in your toolbox, they knew the answer. I wasn't the expert. I found a thing and I thought everybody should come and take a look at this thing before they said no. But I invited them to meet somebody else that I believed in. So I sold 20 grand in my first 30 days. And my first one, I sold 100 units in my first week. And some of you are like, 100 units. All that means is I talk to 1,000 people a week. 1,000 people. Yeah, I did it full time. You don't have to do my results. I'm kind of a burn the boat person. Like, I just want to quit the job now. So I put in a lot of activity and I fail forward and I mess up a lot and I say a lot of stupid things because my heart is in it. And the person on the other end feels my heart, and I'm being honest. I'm not posturing like I'm so cool. I created 6 figures. I get to do this. Everyone's over that. We're in a society where people are very skeptical and untrusting. And so we have to gain the trust first. So I don't say any of that to impress you. I say it to let you know when I got started, I had 150 friends on my Facebook. I didn't accept anyone that was a friend that like went into my messenger and was like, hey, you want to be friends? No, you're a stranger danger. I didn't do any of that. I created a brand new Facebook account because I didn't want my friends and family to see what I was doing because I was embarrassed to do that thing, right? So I created a whole brand new account and I got to work. I got to work doing the work. And at that point, which is where a lot of you are right now, that work was doing one thing and mastering the invite. Mastering the promoting, right? Mastering that. And then if you have a mentor or an upline or a coach or a team or whatever you're going to use, have a set of skills that you don't have yet, then you have to trust that person to help you with your person, to give you those skills. And that's challenging in the beginning, because if you worked for a company that was distrusting and you're bringing that distrust into your business, then your distrust is actually causing your stagnation in your business. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to use it. If you are naturally untrusting and naturally skeptical, then by law of attraction, by karma, by give and get, whatever you're going to call it, you are attracting that same person. I'm a very open person. I'm a very honest person. I'm a very energetic person. I get my feelings hurt easily, right? So I attract people that are open. They're trusting. They're like, yes, let's do this. Yes, let's lock arms. Now show me what to do. So I'm going to show them what to do in the next 45 minutes. But what I want you to know is you don't have to have tech skills. If you could smile and invite someone to see something else, which by the way, you guys are already doing this. If you and your husband went out to a brand new restaurant in the city and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest freaking burrito I've ever had in my whole life, and they have live music on Friday nights and they have a play area for my kids, like everyone needs to know about this restaurant. You're going to shout it from the rooftops. Guys, I had the most amazing experience. I just went to Jose Cuervo's and downtown Gilbert, and right? But sometimes you're just like, you just have to go experience it. You can't sell the experience. They have to experience it. Your job is just to be like, you need to go to Jose Cuervo's. Like, that place is legit. Well, why? Because we just had a phenomenal time. Well, how many cooks were in the kitchen? No one's asking those questions. But is there people that aren't going to like Mexican food and they don't want to go to Jose Cuervo's? Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Not everyone's going to join your business. Your friends and family probably won't. Some might buy some products. My friends and my family, some of them do, and some of them don't. Some of them call me names. That's okay too. So what I want you to understand first and foremost is what you think in here and the language you use. I want you to start writing. If you're a note taker, write this down. How many times a day do I say I can't afford it? I'm not even joking. How many times a day? I'm going to give you guys an exercise to overcome this. 2 exercises. Money Friends and the $10,000 challenge. In case I forget, someone remind me. Money Friends, $10,000 challenge. How many times a day do you walk around saying, I can't afford it? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Or you're telling your kids, no, we can't afford it. Or you're just telling them no. And then inside you've got mom guilt because you're like, fuck, I can't afford it. Summer's coming up. What am I going to do with these kids? I'm with them all day long. I can't afford a staycation. I can't afford to take them to Disneyland. I can't afford to take them to SeaWorld. I can't. Your internal dialogue is attracting your external customer and clients. Take a look at your team right now and you can be like, oh, schnitzel, right? Now, my first opportunity was investing, and it turned me into an investor. So when I join businesses, I'm all in because I understand I'm investing in me and I'm investing into my children. I'm showing my children a different way. I'm showing them what's possible. I've invested. When someone's like, I can't afford the shampoo, I'm like, you don't get it yet. It's your store. Why wouldn't you buy from your own store? It's an investment. But that's a whole books. Read the books. That's a whole other thing, okay? That's later. What I want you to recognize is how many times are you saying I can't afford it? And just write it down, right? Just tally it. Just be very mindful, right? Today, we're going to look into our mindset with some curiosity, no judgment and no shame. We're going to let go of the, I should be further along. I should be making more money. I should be this. I should be that. Let it go. That's hurtful. That's negative self-talk. We're not here to be there. We are going to recognize here's where we are so that we can move forward in our businesses, so that we can gain customers and gain sales. How do we do that? We got to like ourselves. We got to like ourselves. We got to like what we're doing. We got to show up with enthusiasm. We got to show up with excitement. We have to start saying things like, how can I afford that? Well, maybe I can't go to Italy today, but I can go in 3 days, or in 3 years. So we plan the trip to Italy. We plan. We create what's called a future memory, AKA vision boards, right? The vision board and the future memory has to be attainable or you count yourself out of the game. Now, 2 things I want you to do. My mentor did this with me, and at first it felt so silly. I want you to just write a very large number on a piece of paper. For me, it was 10,000 because all I've ever wanted is 10,000 residually. And you just 10,000, 10,000. You just write it down like $sign. You're going to pretend like you're writing a $10,000 check to somebody. Now, I know we don't deal in checks, we swipe cards. And that's also an issue with money and your beliefs about money, because you don't feel the pain, you don't write the check anymore. But if you wrote a check for $10,000, would that feel like, holy shit? Or would it feel like, whew, 10 grand, here we go. I got 100 more of those in my bank account, right? We have to create it like it's coming. If you're going to swipe that credit card for $10,000, is that going to feel like, oh my God, I could never write 10,000. That's impossible. Yeah, it was impossible to me too, until I learned how to write checks for $10,000. And then I was like, I got the money in the bank. Money's always coming to me. Clients are always coming to me. Sales are always coming to me, right? I live in that future memory. Tomorrow I'm going to sign up a rock star. I'm building a business with forward thinking, forward thinkers. So $10,000, obviously, Money Friends. Thank you, Facebook user. Money Friends, guys, do this, do this, do this. Telling you, it'll change your life, and it's silly. Go to the ATM. If you don't have extra profits, then when you get your profits, I want you to go to the ATM. I want you to pull out, you might have to go to the bank, a $100 bill, a $50 bill, a $20 bill, a $10 bill, a $5 bill, and a $1 bill. Always. These are your money friends, and you keep them in your wallet. You don't spend it. It's a money friend. You learn how to enjoy money. You learn how to talk to money. You learn how to have gratitude towards money. Money's the tool. It's no different than this right here. I take, I lose weight. Money, I take, and I buy things for my family. I buy my freedom. Money buys my time. Money buys my time so that I can spend time doing what I'm passionate about. It's just a tool. But if we grow up hearing struggle and seeing struggle from our friends and our families and everybody that complains about money, then money's hard for us to make. And by default, we look around and we go, well, I don't know a rich person in my family. I don't know a rich person in this environment. I don't know a rich person anywhere, so it's not for me. And then we count ourselves out of the game and saying, how do I surround, where are the rich people hanging out? Where are they at? And how do I get into the circle? And guys, here's what I've learned 9 years later. I used to be super intimidated by rich people. And here's what I learned. They want to be loved also. They want to be complimented. They want to be heard. They don't want to be used. Like, you know, hey, can you tell me how to make $1 million? They don't want to do that. They value their time. They want to be like, hey, can I take you to lunch? Don't talk to them about the business. Take them to lunch and be their friend. That is what I've learned by spending 9 years meeting millionaires and then watching and observing their friendships and how they interact with their family. Because I don't surround myself with millionaires to get the information from them. I surround myself with millionaires and I shut my mouth and I listen to how they interact with their teams, how they interact with their families, how they interact with their friends. The other day I was talking with a friend of mine and he was like, oh yeah, you know, me and Isaac and the family, like we all went and got pizza. And I immediately was like, fuck, to go get pizza with Isaac? Isaac's the owner of our company who lives right here. And I was like, how come I haven't called Isaac and asked him for pizza? Because there's that disconnect, like, oh, I could never do that. That's the owner of the company. But I bet he'd be happy to go to pizza with me if I asked him how his wife was doing and how his kids were doing and didn't talk to him about Secret and my, you know, right? Does that make sense? Like, they want to be people too. And so that's one of the things that I'm learning. So when you have money friends, they just have some stuff in their bank account because they started some stuff a lot quicker than we did. They're no different. They have families, they have friends, they have a heart, they have compassion. They're amazing. They're brilliant at communicating, right? It's why this business is a personal development with a compensation plan attached. You will outgrow the marketplace when you get a new skill. You will outgrow the marketplace when you get a new skill. What does that mean? When I was 15 years old, I was hostess for Applebee's. I was 16 years old. I was a hostess for Applebee's. I didn't want to be a hostess, but I had to start there because I had to get my foot in the door. So what did I do? I took it upon myself to bus tables and run food. I showed them, hey, listen, I'm not just a hostess. I'm gonna get your position, without saying that to the owner because that's not kind. I looked to see where I could help and where I could provide value. Then I was getting tipped out by the waitresses and I was like, this cash thing is fantastic. I want to be a waitress. And normally you have to be a hostess for 6 months before you can even be considered to be a waitress. I got my waitress positioned in 2 months because they were like, she's valuable, she's coachable. Look at the initiations she's taking to be a part of the team. And then I became a food expediter, which was more money. And then I became the general manager. because I looked for opportunity and I took it. I didn't wait for someone to give me permission. I was like, I want that job. How do I get that job? Who do I need to be to get that job? What skill do I need to learn? When you're a hostess, you open the door, you seat guests at the table, and you go. That's really all you do. That's really all you do, right? But I learned the skill of bussing the table. I got paid more money. I learned the skill of running food from the kitchen, learning table numbers, learning how to identify food on a piece of paper that was in code. I learned more skills. I made more money. And then I would volunteer on my days off, extra shifts. Like, I have always been motivated by money, by the way. I love money because I love to spend it. I love to say yes. Yes, we can go do that thing. Yes, we can buy a new house. Yes, we can go to Disneyland. I like to say yes. That's a life of abundance. And I earn it. But I look for opportunities for me to give to the community first. Okay? Does that make sense? So you want to give, meaning you want to help, right? I was like, how can I help this waitress? So that she'll train me. If I help her, she'll train me. If I help her, she'll take me under her wing. If I help him, maybe he'll show me how to do it, right? Call it teacher's pet. I'm always the teacher's pet to the leaders. Why? Because I'm fun to be around. So they'd be like, man, look at this chick taking this off my plate. You know how I became a retail store manager, the youngest in my company? Because I would not let my store manager do anything. I was like, nope, I need to learn how to unload that truck. I need to learn how to write that PO. I need to learn how to hire and fire. I need to learn how to call HR. I would not let him do anything. I'm like, no, I got this. Why don't you go home so I can run this store, right? I would always tell my store manager, go home. I got this. And because of that, I make more money because I don't wait around for someone to tell me what to do. I go in and I do it. But I'll tell you what, it started with having gratitude about money. And that came from losing every dime and having to start over, right? So you have to understand that if you're paying a light bill, you invested into electricity into your home for your children to play a game. A lot of us see bills because our parents grew up complaining about bills. Or we don't pay any bills and then we take them for granted because we don't have to pay the light bill and the electricity bill and the Wi-Fi bill. So we don't understand money in, money out. Money out is a phenomenal thing. Money in doing nothing is a wasted tool. It's tools sitting in a toolbox and not working. Money's got to go out with gratitude. You've got to invest in people. You've got to invest in books. You absolutely have to invest in yourselves. So get your money, friends, and then make sure that you come back and tell me how that worked for you. I talk all the time about the magic, and the magic changed my life because it taught me how to It taught me how to have gratitude for people I didn't like. I'll explain more on that further. There are people I don't like. And I had to learn that the people I didn't like were actually God showing me my shit, my insecurities, my fears, right? I know none of you have ever done this. I know none of you have ever done this, but I absolutely blamed my mentor when I wasn't getting paid. I'm like, it's your fault. You're not available for me. You're not helping me. You're not doing this with me. You're not showing me what you're doing. You're doing it. You're making $10,000 a month and you're not available for me. But that was so not true. And I didn't understand it until I became that person. And I was like, I didn't call him and say, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you teach me how to present? Hey, can you tell me what you did last week to get your $10,000 check? I never called him. I told myself he's too busy to help me. But you know what I kept doing? I kept putting people in front of him. I trusted he was going to help me. I kept putting people in front of him and then it worked. And now on the other side of that, I'm like, he did help me. Actually, in fact, I think I made money quickly because I burned the boat. It had to work for me. Going back to work was not an option. I was in way too much debt that I wasn't willing to try to pay down. I was not willing to freaking Dave Ramsey this shit. When all my friends were making $10,000, $20,000 a month, I was like, I am not saving $3 from a Starbucks. Like, I want what you guys have. So I stayed plugged in. I stayed coming around the community. And then I learned to have gratitude for people that are actually showing me the way. I didn't need to get on the phone with him. I needed to learn how to fish my own fish in a way that worked for me. I had 2 kids in diapers. I couldn't leave. He was doing cash flow events and networking events and lunch and learns. And I wasn't available to do that because I wasn't willing to leave my kids at home. Otherwise, I had a job. And the whole point of doing this business is to be at home with my kids. So I had to find a way that worked for me. And that is this incredible platform that you're sitting on, that you're listening to me to. It was learning how to use this and send a powerful message that freedom is available for you too. But you got to get around the right people. You have to have the right system in place, and you have to take responsibility and own your crap, all of it. I didn't lose a bunch of money because of that person. I lost a bunch of money because I was insecure and I didn't question what he was doing, even though it felt very icky. That's my fault. That's my fault. And when you own it, you know how people file bankruptcy and they go get it back 10 times faster? My friends, I'm one of those people. Hopefully I won't be like Trump and do it 7 times, but I'm one of those people. I lost it and then I was like, I know how to get it back 10 times quicker now. And now I know how to appreciate it and value it. And also now I know who the hell I am. And it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. In fact, if you're not making mistakes and failing forward, guys, you're not doing anything in your business, and then you can't help anybody else because you don't have the experience. I'll tell you, there's a lot of people right now that are calling themselves coaches because they went online and got a certificate and now they're a coach. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't coach on things I can't explain. I couldn't go coach a basketball game, right? I'm not that coach. But what I do understand is perseverance. What I do understand is going through custody battles and divorces and financial losses and still showing up every single day to serve my community and serve my team. I can speak to that. I can speak to fear. I can speak to doubt. I can speak to how to get paid online. But I didn't go through a class. I did it because I screwed up so many times that now I can help someone else overcome those mistakes. This game is nothing but mindset. So let's talk about mindset for a minute. What do you think about people and money and sales? Those are the 3 things that you have to come to. You need to have a come to Jesus talk. Do I like being sold to? People like to buy. Everyone wants. I am the first person to go shopping and get a deal. I love shopping. I love spending money. I don't like being sold to. And there's salesmen, and then there's sales. And when you embrace selling from your heart, and the fact that you're sharing information and the person can say yes or no, but you're not trying to share them something so that you get a bigger commission, right? Most of us hate sales. And what do we talk about? Door-to-door sales and car salesmen. I went in for a Toyota Camry and I walked out with a Dodge Caravan and payments 3 times higher than my family can afford. And I lost the car 3 years later. And now we think that that's sales. No, that's a dickhead. And we didn't have the courage to stick to our guns when we went in and said, I want the Toyota Camry. Are you listening to me? Right? So we have to let go. We have to have a come to Jesus talk about what selling really is. And selling is literally sharing information so that they can make a decision. It's not pushing something on them that they can't afford. It's not pushing something on them that they'll never do. It's not, feel fear and do it anyway. They're not going to do that. Okay. It's a mindset thing. And there's something, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Everyone wants financial freedom. I'm here to tell you, you have to get it here first. So let me show you what that looks like. If we were to all close our eyes right now, if you're driving, don't do this. If we were to all close our eyes right now, and you defined freedom for you, and if you're a participator, put it in the chat, right? Okay, freedom is, I make $6,000 a month. I put $1,000 in savings every single month. I take my kids to do fun activities. I'm with them all day long. My bills are all paid on time. In fact, I can pay the balances off. I'm not just paying the minimums. I'm saving money for that thing, that house, that car, right? Now, if you created that freedom, if we partnered together and you created that freedom in 1 year, how does your body physically feel? You're a little lighter. You're a little freer. You're probably a little funner to be around. If we grew up watching stress, we're not what we are told. We are who we are surrounded by. So your parents had good intentions and might have told you you can be, do, and have anything. But what you grew up with is the electric getting shut off, right? The lights, the electricity bill. These are all my personal stories. It could be different for you, right? You grew up seeing something, and so you don't believe that you can be, do, or have anything because your parents didn't try to be, do, or have anything. So there's a disconnect. Well, if I can be, do, and have anything, then how come we have to wait till payday? Because I can be, do, and have anything, which means I can go to SeaWorld tomorrow, right? Oh no, we can't afford that. So you're telling me I can be, do, and have everything, but you're not modeling. You're not setting that example for me. So a lot of us, we start out really excited about building a business and creating freedom and investing. And we're still taking advice from people that are living a stressed out life. And they're placing blame on exterior factors, because as long as you blame the outside environment, you give yourself permission to stay where you are. Well, I'm not making sales because no one's helping me out. No one helped me out, and I sold 20 grand in my first 30 days. Well, I'm not making sales because I don't know why, but until you get real with you, because everything else is in place. Our leadership's in place. Everything's in place. I mean, these guys are crushing it over here, and wherever you are, if you're in a different environment. The training and the systems are all the same. And you're not going to have more success by going from company to company to company to company, because it's not what they have, it's what you bring to the table. That landed on someone. We go in, well, I paid for this, so I should be getting this back. What are you giving to your team? What are you giving that's valuable for them? Right? If we were all playing baseball and I was the pitcher and you were the catcher, I have to depend on you to be good at your position if we want to win championships. I can win a game by striking out like crazy. But if I have to show up and win every single game because my catcher's missing all the throws and my first base can't catch a fucking ball because he's not showing up to practice, we don't win any championships. We might win a game. I'm here to win a championship. And when I win a championship, that means everybody is scoring on the team, right? So we have to go in with that mentality. Every single one of you brings a skill set already to this business. It's this and this. Selling is enthusiastically sharing about something. It's it. It's it. So if you can bring a smile and learn how to invite your face off, then you can make a lot of money, because what you do is you smile and you invite your face off, and that's the pitcher. And then you introduce them to the catcher, and then maybe the first baseman, because they're both teachers. I'm trying to make this relatable for everybody. I hope you like my analogy, but baseball is just the greatest skill. You want to win a World Series, you have to have synergy within the team. And I'll tell you what, I used to be a San Francisco Giants fan, right? Me and my kids' dad, we went to 50% of the game. Well, we watched 100% of the games. We went to a lot of them. And I'll tell you, in the beginning, that team sucked together. There was no synergy. People are trading left and right? It's no different than what we do. You're coming in from another company. You're coming in from another team. You're coming in from another coach. You're bringing all that shit with you, all that baggage, all that experience, and they don't work together as a team. Matter of fact, they lose in the beginning every single World Series, and they won 3 biannually. It was like 2009, 12, and 14, 10, 12, and 14. They won, but their freaking beginning season blew chunks. They had no idea how to work together. They didn't trust each other, but they practiced together. And the more they practiced together, the more they trusted each other. The more they trusted each other, the more games that they won. This business is no different. When I eat, it's because my team is eating. It's not because of anything I'm doing. It's because my team is eating. So you have to go into this with that mentality. If someone joins your opportunity, you work for them, not the other way around. If someone joins my opportunity, I work for them. They are my boss. They tell me what to do. Now, I got to coach them in the beginning, but understand that it's in my best interest to teach that person how to make $500 a month. It's in my best interest to teach that person how to make $1,000 a month. Why? Because when we work as a team, we all win. We win championships. I'm here to win a championship. I'm not here to get paid. Getting paid sucks. When you do it all by yourself, it's lonely. Who cares if you're making 10 grand a month if no one wants to go to dinner with you because you're a jerk face, right? I know no one here is a jerk face, but have you guys met some rich jerk faces that you're like, I wouldn't go to dinner with you even if you paid me to go, right? So we got to go into it with that opportunity. So with that said, I'm going to give you 10 tips to go crush your business. Some of y'all are working today. Some of y'all are not. That's okay. I'm working today, as you can see. So tip number 1. You want to spend more time with people who think bigger. Spend more time with people who think bigger. There's a story, crabs in a bucket. All the crabs are in the bucket. Everyone's comfortable. Everyone's good. One crab tries to leave that bucket, and the crabs physically pull him down. They pull his legs. They pull his little tootsies. They pull that crab out of the bucket. How dare you leave? You're not better than me. How dare you leave? You're just a blank. How dare you? How dare you? And then we have self-doubt and we never leave the bucket. But if you don't get into a new bucket around people, I'll tell you, my bucket was meeting someone who made $65,000 a month from home. And I was like, where was this taught in school? Literally, she worked in her yoga pants all day long. Gorgeous freaking home. I worked for her for a year and a half as her life manager. Greatest freaking job I ever had, I'll tell you what. Was paid stupid. Not only was I paid so well, but she was planting seeds and I didn't even know. But because I surrounded myself with her like 10 hours a day for a year and a half, guess what my mindset grew to be? Well, you're no different than me. You've got some skills that you learned before I did. She learned online marketing. She was a marketer and a brander for big companies. She got paid a ton of money. She got clients, right? I sat there going, well, you do this and you do this and you do that. And I'm not going to say it because we became friends, but I saw all of her fear. I saw all of her self-doubt. I saw all of her insecurities. And I was like, well, if you can make 65 grand and this is happening over here, I got this. And that was the greatest thing. I surrounded myself with people who thought differently, not to go ask them what to do, to listen to how they were doing it. Number 2, discipline your disappointments. We live in a world where everyone wants 10 grand tomorrow. You can order DoorDash and have anything that you want into your house within 30 minutes. So it's much easier to spend money. You can get any information you want with YouTube University at the touch of your fingertips. And so when it comes to the business and things like I should be further along, I should be making more money, this person should be doing this person should be training better, that should be doing this, then we get disappointed. And when we learn how to manage our expectations and discipline our disappointments, then we can always build for the future and build for tomorrow. And now we're creating memories for tomorrow. So if I were to say, okay, today's Memorial Day, you're going to enjoy Memorial Day, we're going to do some goal setting tomorrow. If it's Friday, how many customers did you get? Some of you are going to be like, well, I don't know how to get customers. And you're going to live there. I don't know how to get customers. Yes, you do. You ask people a question. We're going to do that in 12 minutes. And some of you are going to be like, I don't know how to goal set. And some of you are going to go and dude, Crystal's gotten 3 customers in the last freaking 12 hours. And she was in Vegas. She's crushing it. Because she's just in the activity. She's not trying to learn anything. She's just in the right activities, right? That is how we do this business. We just discipline our expectations. We build for a better tomorrow and we do the activity. Number 3, be efficient with your time. Be efficient with your time. If you had a job, you would know exactly what you're doing every moment. It's why some of us quit our jobs. Because I knew on Wednesday at 4 a.m., I was unloading a freaking 54-foot trailer in the back of the building. On Friday, I was setting up a sale. On Wednesday, I was cashiering from 12 to 1, right? My time was managed. The hardest thing to discipline when you're brand new in this industry is your time, because you get this sense of freedom and you think you're free. No, you're not, because you're broke. So you're not free. You may have some time freedom, but you don't have financial freedom. You're still telling your kids no. You're still living in that guilt. That's not freedom. If you have any guilt or any stress, you're not free. We have to find that. And that's different for all of us, because your definition of freedom is going to be different than my definition of freedom. But I think that we can all agree on what peace feels like and what relaxing feels like. Because a lot of times we're escaping our day to relax and Netflix and chill for 2 hours a night. But if we spent that 2 hours a night getting 2 customers, you'd be financially free in about 4 months, maybe, depending on your income level. Right? So we're relaxing, we're escaping. Everyone's chilling today on vacation, right? To get that freedom, to get that peaceful feeling, only to be stressed out tomorrow when the alarm clock goes off. But that's not creating the future that we want. That's our reality. We can't live in reality. We have to build for something different. Number 4, form your own opinions. Form your own opinions. Be a free, independent thinker. It's the one result I want for my kids. Form your own opinions. Your opinions can only come off your own personal experiences. There's so many people that are like, it's so hard to build this business. No, it's not. It's so fucking simple that people make it hard. I hate when people are like, if people only understood how hard this business is. It's not hard. It's disciplining your time and your expectations and doing the work. If I hired you as my employee and said, okay, Carissa, from 9 to 5, you're going to log into Zoom with me and you're going to do this activity, this activity, this activity, and I can guarantee you a $5,000 paycheck, you would do it. But because I leave you to your own time management, you don't do it. Not calling Carissa out, just using that as an example, right? You have to be able to form your own opinions about this industry. I think this industry is fun. I think it's magnificent. I love it. It's given me everything for the last 9 years. And now I'm so grateful that I'm going to get more and build it bigger. It wasn't hard. What was hard is discovering my worth. What was hard was understanding and conceptualizing I can make 10 grand a month and have fun. What was hard is I can show up every day and do what I love to do, and money is going to flow into my bank account, no problems. That was hard. That was hard. The personal development, yeah. And that's not even hard. It's really making the time to do it. See fear as an opportunity. All fear means is you are not prepared. Some of us are afraid of the dark. I grew up afraid of the dark as a child because my parents didn't teach me self-defense. So if I heard a noise, I would hide my head under the covers. But if I was prepared, because I took a self-defense class and thought I could screw someone up if they came into my bedroom, I wouldn't be afraid anymore. So we have to learn how to see fear as an opportunity to learn. What is it that you're most afraid of, so that I can show you where the opportunity lies? When I lost 6 figures, I spent 6 months living in fear. Oh my God, I'm going to lose this money. I'm going to fucking lose this money. I know I'm going to lose this money. I can't believe I'm going to lose this money. Oh my God, I'm going to lose this money. Guess what happened? The fear was stronger than the faith, and I lost it all. Now looking back, I'm like, what an idiot. All I had to do was make a few phone calls, ask a few people some questions, get a lien on the property. I had all kinds of options, but that fear was debilitating for me because why? I had family money, my husband's money, like everything was writing on that deal. And now looking back, I'm like, I was so ignorant, but I didn't know. And I wasn't surrounded by people who were believing in me and breathing life in me. They were like, yeah, you screwed up. That guy's a da-da-da-da-da, right? So you have to be mindful of who you're surrounding yourselves with. You have to be able to form your own opinion. Now, when I've seen that guy, and now when I see him, I'm like, I don't know if he had ill intentions or not. God will take care of that. I'm okay, right? But I don't have any hatred towards him. I don't have any resentment towards him, none of that stuff, because that's never going to help me. In fact, it's going to hurt me much more. Know how to commit. Number 6, know how to commit. Do you keep your word? Do you keep your word? Do you keep your commitments? Number 7, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Stay in your own lane. Worry about you and your business. Don't look at this person's business. Don't look at that person's post. Don't look at this person's reels. Take a look. It's funny because I keep sharing this over and over and over, because when Crystal we had a team chat, and when she left, her business blew up. Because some of those chats, people like to be rah-rah'd, but there's no work being done. They're just in there rah-rahing each other. She left the group. She got to work. Now she's building. She's on fire. Be mindful if you're distracted by things that make you feel good, because I'll tell you what makes you feel good is taking your kids to SeaWorld. I'll tell you what makes you feel good is being able to buy a house just because you can. Okay? So just food for thought. I love chats too, but they're a huge distraction for a lot of people, and people are in there to feel good, and there's no accountability for their business. There's no support for the business. Number 8, think long-term. When I have people sign up with me to work with me, I'm like, listen, if you're here to do something for 90 days, do not bother. Don't sign up with me, please. Don't do it. Like, if you're not here to give this a minimum of 1 year, do not sign up to be on my team. It'll be a waste of my time. It'll be a waste of your time. I'm not here to work with that person. And every single opportunity, guys, that I've ever done in my past, I am still a part of, whether I'm a customer, whether I'm a friend, whether I'm a supporter, whether I'm an encourager. I've never actually left anything. I'm very much customers to a lot of small businesses. I would prefer that for myself. So keep that in mind, because you want to think long-term, and you want to surround yourself with people who are thinking long-term. If someone's like, well, I'll try it and see if it works in 30 days. Do doctors go to college and say, well, I'll try it, and if it works, I'll operate on someone's brain? No, there are a ton of skills that need to be developed before you perform brain surgery. And some of you guys are like me, and you're like, unlimited income potential. That's going to require lots of skills. I will never stop sharpening my skills, right? Because I want to do better. I want to be better. I want to help more people. And in order to help more people, I have to pay attention to myself and stay in my own lane. So that was number 8. Number 9, value learning as the most important skill. I'll tell you, sometimes I see people not joining things, trainings, calls, and then they communicate that they don't feel part of the team. And I'm going to be really honest with you. That's because you're going to get, and you're not going to give. So when I don't join every call live. I'm not that mentor. I don't want to be that mentor. I have 3 kids at home, and sometimes I'm not available. Right? Like, I'm not here to preach that. This is very much about a freedom business. But when I see someone consistently complaining that they're not getting sales and they're not getting results, and they don't attend anything because, I was the first person to do this 9 years ago. I don't need to watch this freaking presentation. I could ad-lib the presentation. Shame on me for not stepping up and giving the presentation and giving to my team. I was complaining. This guy again. Jesus, he talks about the same thing over and over and over. I could do that better. Why didn't I? Because I was afraid. So I complained. So now when my coaches and my mentors and people I respect show up and do a training, I show up to observe. I'm more of an observer. I'm less of a listener and more of an observer. What I mean by that is a lot of the skills they're teaching, I'm very grateful I have developed. And I still stay open. I still stay coachable. But what I want you to hear is I listen for how they talk to the person, to the people, right? I had the honor and privilege of emceeing one of our training events here in Arizona. And during lunch, we had a little breakout with just the leaders. And I just watched Jesse talk. I didn't interrupt. I didn't try to plan anything. I didn't try to be seen and heard. I listened to the way he communicates to the team, because I'll tell you, every time he talks, I'm like, he's talking to me. I know he's talking to me. He's talking to me. And I want my team to, because he breathes life into me. So if I want to be the leader where my team is like, she's talking to me, I know I can do this. I know I'm not doing enough. I know she's got my back, because that's how I feel about Jessie. If I'm going to be a good communicator, I can read books all day long. That will not make me a good communicator. Communicating will make me a better communicator. So I'm watching from like an outside perspective of what words he's using. Does he say I? Does he say we? Does he say they? Does he say you? I'm very, very much open to the idea that he's much better than I am at communicating, because he's got a much bigger team. And if I want to have a big team, I need to listen to how he talks to people. And also, he makes everyone feel so good. We just all love Jessie. He's just the mom of the team. We get the hugs and we get the kicks in our rears when we need that too. And that's who I aspire to be, which means I need to spend as much time listening and really focused on how he's communicating to the team. So, and the last thing is invest in yourself. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be financially. I literally teach a 3-day boot camp. Today's the kickoff of the first boot camp. It's unlike anything I've ever done before. It's unlike anything I'm doing in the future, because I have leveled up. I'm not talking to the same person anymore. My audience is very different. They're getting paid online. And now it's about creating consistent results for our team, which means the communication is different. New level, new devil, right? So if you want to be a part of that, it is streamed right here, wherever you are watching from. I'm absolutely going to sell you something on the back end. It's 50% off. It will not be for a lot of you. But if you're like me and you are tired of spending a lot of time on social media, which is a great place to start. Definitely spend time on social media, because it's almost like baseball, right? You start out playing t-ball. Maybe you play in elementary school, and you're playing for free. You're putting in sweat equity. You're playing for free, but you sharpen that skill to the point that now you can go into the majors and get paid for doing what you're passionate about. So I consider myself that business. I've been here building organically for 9 years, selling all kinds of stuff, and it's been phenomenal, but I'm ready to join the big leagues. And some of you are ready to join the big leagues as well and scale your business. And so there will absolutely be an invitation on the back end to work with me personally, but that will not be for all of you. And that's not until Wednesday. So I am going to create a Zoom link where some of you are going to get some auditing, and we are going to work. Here's what I want you to know. If you know anyone in Dallas, I'm traveling to Dallas on Thursday. I'm going to give a presentation on Thursday night at the hotel. And here's how I build my business. I'm going to tell you guys what I do, and then I'm going to go do it. And some of you are going to watch me do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join Dallas mom groups, Dallas small business groups, and Dallas mompreneur groups. Okay. I want you to, we're going to get into this tomorrow, but Facebook is nothing but white pages and yellow pages. And some of you are so afraid to talk to people. And there's people on the other end of that messenger that are just praying that someone goes into their message and says, hey, did you know you can make money from Facebook? Okay. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to friend request those moms and those small business owners that look like they're having fun, that look like they have joy in their lives, that look like they would be a good fit for what I do, because I don't want no sad Sally in my group. And I'm going to say, hey, my name is Jennifer, and I'm coming to Dallas. Do you know any moms that want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 per month? If not, no worries at all. And I'm going to send that to a lot of women over the next 3 days. And I'm going to have a presentation in Dallas, and I'm going to build a market there, because that is what I intend to do. If I'm going to go there 3 to 4 times a year, I might as well serve that community. And we have a phenomenal leadership community in Dallas. So that's how I build a business. The following week, I'm going to Atlanta, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring in some new, fresh blood using Facebook as the white pages and finding some awesome freaking moms that have some free time on their hands, that want to build a business and show other women how simple this can be. So I'm telling you guys what I'm doing. So if you're like, how does Jen build her business? I just told you. I literally just gave you my simple blueprint. Okay. I'm going to go do it now. Some of you guys are going to watch me. I will send a Zoom link. I don't know where we're streaming. Shanessa, you might have to help me out. Whoever else is on here, we'll figure that out. But I'm going to do a closed training now for my team. So thank you for joining. I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy Memorial Day.